Every baddie I know is literally single right now. If you're feeling weird about it, it's hot girl summer. That's why you're single.
Really? Hot girl summer? You're not single because you're hot. You're single because your vibe screams it's going to be a nightmare after week 2.
Think you could survive without me for a whole month?
Yeah,
Yeah?
for sure.
You think you'd be fine?
1 year.
You could survive.
Minimum.
You could survive with
I
me.
want to test the theory for 1 year. I don't want to do 1 month. That's for amateurs. 1 year minimum.
You want to live without me for
Yeah.
1 year?
Yeah.
Starting when?
Today? Tomorrow? When? I think it'll be really good for both of us. Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Are you for real?
Mikey, you got some news. Tiffany's no longer my girlfriend.
Thank God, dude. That woman was the craziest person I've ever met in my
Oh,
life.
hold up. We're engaged now. She's my fiance. She's no longer my girlfriend. She's my fiance.
Oh, Mike?
I am so sorry. And she's your fiance. Bye.
Oh my God!
And this is what makes it extremely hard to sit up here and listen to some of these ladies when they talk about they want a man to listen and validate their emotions, because their emotions pop up at any time and they be lying about them. They be doing it for dramatic effect.
Zo, wat? Dit kan echt niet parkeren.
I'm gonna get yelled at for saying this, but princess treatment isn't romantic. It's a socially accepted way to avoid being an adult in a relationship. We have raised generations, including the Disney girls, on love means someone is gonna come save you. That's not a partnership, that's just a fantasy. And as a kid, that fantasy might have kept you safe, but now as an adult, you're not dating your mom or dad. You don't need to fantasize about someone coming to get you. In a healthy and secure relationship, no one is anticipating every single one of your needs without you communicating that to them. Because psychologically, it keeps you stuck in arrested development where you continue to act like a child with your partner. You're not growing, you're outsourcing responsibility. What actually builds a healthy and secure relationship? Reciprocal care. Not getting upset with the person that you're on a date with because they dropped you off to go in and check in for your reservation, and you're now seeing that as that's my masculine, he should be doing everything. No, baby, you also need to contribute to the relationship.
I don't know why this is a concept that's so hard for some of these ladies out here to actually understand. You're supposed to be helping each other in a relationship, but somewhere along the way, like she said, you've seen a Disney cartoon or maybe you heard a song, and now you think you're supposed to be lazy.
All you have to do is listen to women talk. They tell on themselves constantly. This, let me make it easier to read, this is more common than you think. My sister getting married in 2 days on the phone with her ex from 13 years ago just to make sure that she can't marry him instead. I made this map for an old video. I'm going to expand on it soon. I'm basically going to explain why loose morals result in social and civil decay. So here's a preview. This girl calling her ex is not a new or a rare thing. This map was my response to a video about a guy who met a girl, fell in love, proposed to her after 3 years. She said no. He proposed again after 1 year. She said no again. And he tried to break up with her, which she didn't want to do. Even her family pressured him to stay with her. This was confusing to him because if you don't want to accept the proposal, what are you waiting for? And we never got an official answer, but I'm pretty sure that the answer is a different guy. from her past who broke up with her a while ago, and she's waiting for him to come back and replace him, even though he's not planning on doing that. He's busy. So basically, loose morals are destructive because without social constraints that result in stable marriages, women tend to fall in love with men who consider them temporary. Notice the orange line, meaning that she's just a for now thing for him. And then, when those same women find men who give them real love and support, they don't appreciate it because in her mind, she almost got married to this guy even though he does not agree. So then even though this guy gives her all of this support and commitment, she is still holding out for better, even though better is never coming. And men who give this investment to women and are not appreciated for it, well, they tend to get pretty upset and then they stop doing it. And if men are not investing in society, it's not going to stay standing. So if we have free love, then women start thinking they can do better than they can, and then nobody likes each other, because remember, this is most people. And when people get hurt enough, then they stop putting in effort and they become angry and selfish. And you cannot have a functioning society of angry, selfish people. So it turns into this. What can we do about this? First of all, be this guy if you can. Become the guy that she would leave someone for. Second of all, don't make her do that. Don't have these relationships with women. Stop ruining them. When you say to a girl, oh, babe, I just don't know where the wind is going to blow me. I don't know where I'm going to be in 3 weeks. What they hear is, I'm almost in the top category. I have a 90% chance of making it here. I just have to try a few more tricks. That is what they believe, even if you've never been seen with them in public. But of course, not every guy can make it here. So if you are in the majority, then what you need to do is vet your woman. Check on her past. See if there is a different guy she is waiting for. That is not good for you. This guy spent 4 years and God knows how many dollars trying to make her happy, and she was never gonna be happy with him because she was expecting the guy who's not coming. So if she says to you, my past shouldn't matter, just gently remind her that her past might cause her to leave you at the altar, and that this matters to you a whole lot.
But I think we need to put some of that on the women, though, even though the man has to say, hey, enough is enough. I tried it. You don't want it. And by the way, the parents in this example seemed like they were supporting what she was doing. The nonsense. No, stay. She really loves you. She just has a couple of things that she needs to figure out. She don't have nothing that she needs to figure out. You would have me continuing to spend money on her. And probably one of the worst aspects about this is that guys like that will spend money on the entire family. They'll say, hey, it seems like the family really loves me. I'm one of them. This is my tribe now. This is my crew now. This is who I kick it with, especially if the man doesn't really have family of his own, or maybe he has family, but kind of not really in contact with them. They become his family, essentially, which is fine. It's just you expect family to protect you. And this is not that. This is not that at all. So he's kind of waiting around. He's spending money on not just her. He's spending money on the family. And really, honestly and truly, anybody else that comes along. This is the type of man that don't mind spending money on her friends. And I'm serious about that. I'm not shaming nobody. I'm not saying anybody that anybody's simping. I'm saying this man is going all out for this woman. And she waiting for almost. I'm remembering a girl, a lady, excuse me, sorry about that. I'm remembering a woman that says something to the effect of, I'm not settling. I'm 31 now, and I don't know about you, but I plan on living until like 105. So if I got married today, then that would mean I have somewhere around 70 years to spend with my man. It's statistically not going to happen for women. And women, it's a far shot. It's a long shot for women, and it's even longer for men, because men on average have shorter lifespans than women. And she's sitting up here talking about, I think ChatGPT might have said it's a 0.00012% chance. I guess I could have said 12, but you get it. Sorry. 12% chance that this is going to happen. She's delusional, basically, in so many words, and she needs to stop that. This is the type of mind that these modern women have. Unfortunately, they think by some stretch of the imagination, by some 0.00012% chance, I'm going to get back in touch with the 8 that loved me, or I thought he loved me, but he was just really stringing me along. Maybe even if I don't get the 8, I can get somebody of his caliber, and that will be enough, because then the people will see him. They'll see me. They'll say, girl, you did good. Hook me up, and I'll be the leader. I'll be the one that people look up to in the group, and I'll be popular, and I'll gain status. What did Kevin Samuel say about modern women being attracted to status? That's why they're doing it. I need your money, because money equals status to them. I need your house. I need your network, because that equals status. People know me, and I'm just going to piggyback off of you. That's what a lot of modern women are doing. They're trying to piggyback off men. And men are like, no, you're not going to do that. Well, you're broke. I guess I'm broke to you, because you're not about to come in here, not do anything, and then expect me to do everything for you.
You can look all you want. You're not getting a Porsche.
You know what? I am getting a Porsche. I'm tired of you trying to tell me I'm not going to get one.
Okay, we've talked about this before. If you get a Porsche, I will leave you.
Oh, I will leave you. I will like you to leave. That's why I'm getting one. Come on. It's powerful, isn't it?
It's nearly snapped my fingers off.
Put it right in. Put your full power on the drill.
I'm not good enough to do it. I'm scared of it.
And this is what modern women talk about men doing. Yet they are actually the ones doing it, making it some weird competition out of nowhere. Just want to be competitive, want to compete with your man. And men over and over again, time and time again, have said, I do not want a woman like that.
The Ilaria show.
No, I think we're gonna see, we're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No, I mean, I think this is a really...
House built out of stone.
Never growing up had anything designer. My mom wouldn't let me pick up my first pair of Louboutins when I graduated high school. It makes me emotional, actually.
You serious?
Hey, babe. Notice anything different?
Did you get a haircut?
God, you never pay attention to me. No.
Relax. What is it?
Do not tell me to relax. I just got a new skin for my Fortnite character.
Oh, sorry. It looks like the last one.
No, it's completely different. The last one was a banana skin. I'm sure if I was Greg, that established exec at work, you would notice his skins.
Babe, I told you, he's just a boss.
I'm sure. I've seen the way you've talked to him. You're ready to just jump into a full-blown relationship with him.
That's not true. I like you.
You do?
Yeah, but not too much, like in an overbearing way. Just casually.
Really?
Of course.
Thanks, K-Dog. So you want to get jackhammered for 30 seconds, then watch the game?
Yeah, sure, but maybe afterward we can snuggle for a bit?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. We just haven't cuddled for like 2 weeks.
God, women only have one thing on their minds, don't they?
I'm sorry, you're right. You should dictate all emotional and physical aspects of this relationship with no input from me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is the type of man that that some of these modern women would call a gentleman. Oh, he lets me do this. Oh, he's great for me, which I get. It's a sweet gesture, but this is the level of simping that women want from men in all things, not just one thing. And I want this in all things. Basically, I want him to grovel, right? I don't want him to do just something sweet like you would do for a child if we were playing a game and I just let my son or my daughter win the game, every so often. But then I teach them, hey, this is what you're going to actually come up against. You're going to meet people that are a lot better than you, and you got to figure out how to get better. Modern women don't want to get better. They just want to win all the time, and they want their man to acquiesce. They want their man to back down and allow them to win. They don't want any challenges. They don't want to get better. They don't want to grow. They want all of the growing to happen through men, basically, through their man. They want their man to do all the growing so they can get all the benefit. So he was actually good. He's exhibiting skill in this little skit, and she's exhibiting nothing. And at the end of it, he wants to say, okay, now let me get to the finish line, pull her to the finish line, and basically let her run across before I do, so she can celebrate and act like she did it herself. As a strong, independent woman. For
women after a certain age, basically after 50, more so after 60, we become invisible. We literally become invisible. And I had an aunt tell me that one time. Oh, I was like, what do you mean you're an invisible woman? Because she's a vibrant, fun, cool lady. She was an older lady, but I thought she was awesome. But I didn't really understand at that time what she meant until I became the invisible woman. And I get it. I get it. From what I read, my understanding is that a lot of people think of women after 49 because that's when, the end of your childbearing years, the end of your fertility. You really don't have a lot to offer, but overall, that was the thought that society had, that women over 49 were, about as useless as, on a boar, if you know that saying. And, I've felt that way. I have totally felt that way.
It's not that you're useless. It's that your role in society changes. A lot of these modern women are 40, 50 years old, trying to compete with a woman that's 20, trying to compete with a young lady that's 18, 19 years old. It's a different game. And you guys continue to talk about men aren't grown. You're not grown. You don't know what you want to do in life. You're still talking about 40 is the new 20. It used to be, I thought 30 was a new 20. Now 40 is a new 20. Now 50 is a new 20. I thought I heard somebody say the other day 60 is a new 20. Like, no. 60 is still 60 in every decade. What a weirdo. But this is what y'all are doing. Still thinking that, I still got it. People retire from professional sports for a reason. They might be able to take care of the body a little bit more. They might be able to hang on for a little bit longer, but their body isn't what it used to be. And when you get older, you learn, or you're supposed to learn, instead of jumping. Let's take basketball, for instance. Instead of doing all this jumping and dunking and all of these high fly acrobatic things, I'm just going to step outside and shoot the ball right here mid-range. Michael Jordan, mid-range. It'll work. Same 2 points. I was flashy when I was young. I could do it. I could really excite a crowd. But my crowd, my audience grows with me. So now they appreciate how I can still score, I can still be entertaining, and give them their money's worth in a different way. Y'all don't really understand that you're teaching the next generation. You're quote unquote entertaining the next generation in a different way. And that's fine. I have more wisdom. I have more experience. That's my game. Why not use it? Instead, we have a lot of women out here, and I'll go as far as not even to say, you have situations where maybe somebody's gone through an illness and they've lost a certain body part or body parts, or certain things have happened to where cosmetic surgery, maybe it's not needed, like absolutely necessary to survive. But, it'd be nice if, I looked more like what I used to look like. I'm not even going to get on that. I'm not even going to say that I have a problem with that. What I will say is that some of these ladies out here, like I said, are still competing with young ladies. Young ladies. They're trying to, okay, I'm gonna get this. They call it, I thought they called it something like a mommy makeover or something like that, where you get all this stuff done to your chest, and then your butt, and then your stomach, and your face, and your neck. It's literally almost quite literally your whole entire body. I don't know if they touch your feet. I mean, I wouldn't put it past some people. Your calves, I think that's okay, but kind of around your thighs, butt, the whole, I guess, genitalia. I don't really know. I guess I need to look that up and see what it actually, all it entails. But essentially from the head down to the thighs, you're redoing everything. So you can go out and look confident. And I know you're probably not going to say that's not what it's not for me to compete with the younger ladies. It's for my confidence. I get it. I understand it. But then we see you in a club with those types of women, with women those ages. So who is it really for? Oh, I got a hot young thing. I got a handsome young thing. Muy guapo. Oh, really? So you don't want to find nothing your age? Oh, well, I'm just living life, and I just got out of a divorce that I was in marriage for 10 years, 20 years, and I want to feel alive. I want to have some hot nights in Miami. That sort of foolishness when you should be taking care of your kids. This is what men have to put up with. And you wonder why they ain't taking you seriously, because you don't want to play your part.
All right, ladies, I'm almost 40 years old. I was married for 15 years. I've been in this dating world for a few. It's kind of crazy. I wanted to share a few things that some of the men that I have dated, things that they have said to me that were completely unwelcomed, unhinged, and just very much like, what? We'll start with the classic, I wish you would just take my advice. Your music sucks. I don't like the short shirts that you wear. Now, this is the short shirts that I wear for the most part. They cover my belly completely. I don't want a girlfriend that likes to go to bed early. I wish you would only work part-time. I really like blondes, so make sure at your next hair appointment that you don't go too dark. I wish you would just take my advice. Move in with your mom. Don't rent. It's stupid. It's a waste of money. And this was after I caught him cheating on me and why I was moving out in the first place.
Well, I'm obviously not going to condone cheating, but I think let's take the instance of him saying, "I like you blonde" or something like that. So make sure your next hair appointment is that's what you're doing. It does sound a little bit wild to say, but I do see women frequently telling men what they like. And why are they saying, "Well, I like you in that," or "I like that. I like the way you smell"? That is a suggestion to continue wearing that smell. Wear that more often than the others. Mix it up a little bit, but wear it more often than the others. I like that shirt on you. I like that color on you. It just does something to, not that I don't like you in other colors, but that one is the one for you. For me, in my opinion, and I'm your wife, so, I think my opinion should carry a little bit more weight. I really like your hair. Oh, I like your hair that length. Hey, this is a big one. I really like your beard. Don't ever shave it off. Don't cut it. I swear, if you ever cut it off, then we're going to have that. Yeah, they're just joking sometimes. But I like your physical appearance. I like the way that you look. So I'm recommending that you look that way. So I don't understand when a man says that he wants something, a certain look from you, why it's a problem.
Saying as a counter argument that I think that's limiting. I think a lot of women would find success in male dominant roles.
Limited by your own existence. When you die,
it's by your structure. It's not just our own existence.
You should go and you should complain to God that he limited your existence to how you exist. But the truth of the matter is that you couldn't organize society any other way. I just gave you the force so you could demonstrate it. You couldn't. All right. I asked you why it is that women, when they have free choice, still don't choose any of these dangerous jobs that men do. And you know what else is so funny about this? It's like, oh my God, I don't have to work and have to stay in this nice house all day and take care of oh my God, the humanity. Well, how could you do this to me? Women didn't have to, they couldn't get credit cards. Oh, but they got no debt. Oh my God, there's no debt. They didn't have to get drafted. They didn't have to join the fire brigade in order to vote. They didn't have to be subject to poll voting laws like men did. Oh my God, women, they're so oppressed. Oh God. It's like, what are you talking about? When I look at the historical standard for feminism, I think to myself, you had it made in the shade and you f***ed it all up. What are you, stupid?
These are some things you need to hear. Number one, a good man would rather marry a grocery store clerk who makes $14 an hour, but is super feminine, wants to serve him, loves to cook, loves to do all the wife qualities, and wants to have a family, rather than a millionaire boss babe who only cares about work and being independent. Number two, if you expect a man to be taller than you and make more money than you, don't get upset when he wants you to be younger than him and have a low body count. Number three, even though the world doesn't praise you as much for it, it is a much bigger accomplishment to find the love of your life young, to have a bunch of kids, to have a happy and healthy home, and to raise a nuclear family than it ever will be to achieve a certain title at work or start a business. Number four, feminism is the complete opposite of empowering. OF, the sex industry, killing your babies because it's inconvenient, all damage you more than anybody else. It damages women more than anybody else in this society. So how is that empowering to women? And lastly, it's going to be more beneficial for you long term to work on skills like cooking from scratch, baking, reading literature, painting, doing feminine hobbies than it is to go get a degree.
If men didn't exist, there'd be no war, there'd be fewer crimes, there'd be less violence, there'd be fewer billionaires, there'd be less homelessness, there'd be equal pay, there'd be less oppression, there'd be less poverty, there'd be universal health care. All the money used to fund the military would instead contribute to free education, affordable housing, livable wages, and environmental efforts. Period products would be free, there'd be no need for birth control and all of its side effects, there'd be no need for women's rights or Me Too movements, there'd be no debate, toilet seats would never be left up, there'd be more self-love, there'd be less body shaming, the world in general would be safer, cleaner, and more comfortable, land would be shared, not stolen, there'd be less hate, and there'd be less fear. Let me know if I missed anything and try telling me that I'm wrong.
Yeah, you missed a whole bunch of logic. That's just the surface of it. I mean, you guys think that, and this is why men are staying single. This is why men avoid approaching you. They don't want to run into this attitude, this type of foolishness. You guys don't really ever think about anybody but yourself and what you're going through. You don't think about the other side of the debate. You're very limited in the way that you think about things. And this is a huge problem for many men.
Teslas don't come with a spare tire.
Okay, well, that seems rather impractical.
So if you want to come at me about how I should know how to change a tire, first of all, no, I shouldn't.
Why shouldn't any grown adult, strike that, why shouldn't anybody who's old enough to drive, to include teenagers, not know how to change a tire? That's called a basic life skill.
Okay, I had an amazing dad and I have an amazing husband.
Then they should have taught you how to change a tire.
I am a feminist, and I don't need to learn how to change a tire.
A feminist? But feminists are supposed to believe in things like equality, equal treatment, even that one thing that a lot of women seem to want to avoid, equal responsibility. So if a person thinks that they shouldn't have to learn how to change a tire because they're a feminist, then obviously they don't know the first thing about feminism.
Second of all, Teslas don't come with one, so I'm not the one. I'm not the one, okay?
I would wholeheartedly agree that someone is most certainly not the one, as they seem to lack basic life skills.
Men have turned the current dating culture into unpaid sex work for women. Because what do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean you want intimacy without relationship?
Okay, for one, she's saying that men have completely by themselves shaped the scope of modern dating, which with certain women's liberation movements is literally impossible. There are plenty of men and women choosing to be single. That is their right. And again, you say it's like S-work now, but let's talk about what S-work is, okay? Someone goes, they want some kind of service of that nature, and they'll give money. The person wouldn't necessarily give them that service without the money, right? So you could say that that person does not want to do that thing without the incentive. If a man tells you that he wants intimacy without a relationship, you have the opportunity to leave. If you don't enjoy the concept of intimacy with him or intimacy without a relationship with him, then don't do it. How is that S-work? Like, yes, you're saying it's unpaid, but like, you mean like just having consensual relations? Like, some of you act like intimacy with men is like this unavoidable punishment for you. Just get away from him. Like, you literally do not have to do that. Just say, okay, nope, I'm looking for something long term. Now let me go for someone who is looking for what I'm looking for. It's that simple. But y'all get so stuck on one person that you guys don't have the same timelines you're not meeting, that you all of a sudden blame all of dating on that one person when really you could just get someone new. And also, for the love of God, I don't know what's gotten into people lately, talk faster, bro. Like, the amount, like, bro, like, come on. Like, time is money.
I'm ready to talk about it. While I get ready, I'm gonna tell you guys about my last recent experience and why I'm single. Starting off with the Rare Beauty Primer. So I'm currently single and I met somebody about 2 months ago and we really hit it off. But due to timing, we did not see each other until a month later. Now I'm going in with a Giorgio Armani foundation. So we finally go on a date, and it is like quite possibly one of the best first dates I've ever been on. Now I'm going with the Tarte Concealer shade 29N. So up to now, the only red flag had been that he was just a really texter. Like he would text me like every 2 to 3 days, sometimes more than that. And I really didn't like that. We go on a second date. Now I'm going in with the Makeup by Mario light medium cream bronzer. So after the second date, he asked me to go back to his place and I said no. He said it was to drink some wine, but regardless, I didn't think it was a good idea. Now Makeup by Mario light medium powder bronzer. And he was really respectful about it. He took me home, didn't push me, etc., etc. We end up going out a third time, but this was a group outing with friends, and we had a blast. There was a slight hiccup of a conversation we had where I told him I wanted to hear more from him, and he said I should reach out first, and I said I'm not going to do that. Now, I know everyone has very unique perspectives on this, but I'm just a firm believer, and what I've been taught is that when you're getting to know a man, he should be reaching out. He should be initiating conversations. Now we're going in with Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. And when I told him that, instead of taking accountability, he started kind of going back and forth with me, saying that a woman should show her interest and a woman should also reach out first. And I stood my ground and I said, well, that's just not me. I'm not going to be one to reach out first in the early stages of dating. And, you know, it was a little bit awkward, and then he accepted it and we moved on. Now, here's where the story gets juicy. We go out, we have a great time together. Everybody's dancing, everybody's having a good time. I'm only with this man the entire night. And towards the end of the night, he asks me again if I want to go back to his place to drink wine. And in my head, I'm like, it's 3 a.m. I've already had quite a lot to drink. I don't want to go back to his place. I'm simply not ready. We've only gone on 2 dates. This doesn't even count as a date. So no. Now I'm going with the Rare Beauty Reflect Liquid Luminizer. And he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, that was a little weird, but I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I'm gonna keep dancing, having fun. Shortly after that, we leave the club. And you know how when a girl knows, she knows? Like, my intuition was like, wee, o sea, las alarmas went off, okay? I was like, something's wrong. And in my head, I'm a little, you know, I've had quite a lot to drink. And so I'm like, okay, maybe you're not thinking clearly. Maybe you're just overthinking, you know, like just trying to make sense of why this man's energy completely switched up. Now I'm going in with the Rare Beauty. I needed to make sure I was filming. Hope, okay? The powder blush. And we're walking back to my friend's house where we pre-gamed, and he's just being so different, like so distant, not really holding my hand anymore. Like it was just a different energy, different person. And again, in my head, I'm like, don't say anything. Maybe you're overthinking. You don't really know him that well either. And it'll pass. We go upstairs and we're all sitting on the couch waiting for the pizza. And he goes to the bathroom and he comes out and he's like, okay, bye. I'm like, oh, this guy's not even gonna ask me how I'm gonna get home. He's not gonna call me an Uber the way that he's called them in the past, or the way that he's taken me in the Uber home and then left. So I'm just, you know, making mental notes here. And I'm like, oh, well, my Uber is downstairs too. And he's like, okay, let's go. We go, it's me, him, a friend of mine, and his roommate. And we're downstairs, my Uber's there. Okay, I forgot to put eyeshadow on. I used the Reflect Luminizer, and now I'm gonna do eyeshadow. I mean eyeliner. Eyeliner's done. This is just like a generic Sephora brand black eyeliner. And then I'm gonna go in with mascara. Okay, mascara's on. So we're walking towards my Uber, and he can tell now that my energy's a little off because I've seen all the signs now, right? And he's like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, no, nothing. Because in my head, I'm like, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. You don't really know him. Like, don't, you know what I mean? So I was like, no, nothing. So he walks me to my Uber. And okay, so this is Makeup Forever shade Endless Cacao. And he opens my door and I'm like, so you're not gonna take me home? And he goes, you're not ready. You're not ready. I'm feeling in my lips. It's just like, you're not ready. I want to give you guys some time to really just simmer on this. Okay, are you guys ready? You guys aren't ready. So I tell him, this is Anastasia, the pink ginger lip gloss. I ask him, so you're not gonna take me home? And he goes, well, you're not coming home with me. And I go, oh, okay. And I get in my Uber. Guys, I love this lip combo. So, I Uber home alone at 3 in the morning with quite a few drinks on me. He does not ask me if I got home safe. He does not ask me the next morning how I'm doing. Actually, he doesn't reach out at all after that. And it's been a week. So, because I said no to going home with him, after only having gone on 2 dates together, his ego could not handle it, I guess. And instead, this is how he handled the situation. I just sprayed some of the one size setting spray. So that is why I'm still single, because of experiences like that. And even when you make it known, because I made it known before second day, he asked to cook dinner for me at his house and I respectfully declined. I said, I don't like to go to somebody's house unless I know them really well. And he said, that's fine, I respect that, let's do dinner then. I said, So I thought I had made it clear that that's just not me. And yeah, it's experiences like that that leave girls, good girls like us, a little shaken up, you know? And that's fine, because I'm not gonna change my standards. I'm not gonna question my standards. I'm not gonna doubt my standards. That's simply who I am. That's simply what I expect from a man. I expect a man to be respectful enough. If it takes a year to get me to go home with you, you should wait. If you really want me, and if you're a true gentleman, you'll wait. So that's the story, guys. I hope that was a little entertaining.
Well, I think you had me in the first half there, right? Because you were saying we only know each other for 2 dates. You know, I don't really feel comfortable going to your house, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got wine in me. I don't know about that. But then you're like, if it takes a year, and you could say that's an exaggeration, but they really mean that. You guys expect men to wait for you an indefinite amount of time. You guys think that you're living in a medieval time. Oh, I'd follow you anywhere. I'd wait for you. I'd cross the seas type of nonsense. When does logic and practicality come into it? Well, what do you mean? If you love somebody, you do it? No, you wouldn't. You might feel a certain way about somebody, but if they're not reciprocating the energy, then why would you continue to chase after them? This is what men are thinking. This is what men have been told. If I'm not reciprocating the energy that you're looking for, why are you still coming? Why are you still in my face? Why are you still coming after me? Why are you still trying to approach me? If I have my nose in my book, this is what women are saying. If I have my nose in my book and I'm just minding my business, then why are you over here in my face? I already told you through my body language, I didn't want you. You waited till I went to the restroom, and when I was coming from the restroom, then you tried to approach me then. I made it clear through my body language and the way that I batted my eyes at you that I wasn't interested. So when a man says, okay, if that's the case, it doesn't seem like you want to reciprocate, or it doesn't really seem like you want to be involved in this to that extent, maybe that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe I don't want to wait an entire year. Maybe I'm like, okay, well, she don't really know me. Well, let's give it a month. Well, after a month, I don't really want to come over for dinner. Okay. I mean, 2 months, give it 2 months. It's 2 months, still kind of early. I don't want to wait. 6, 7 months. He said, man, I'm trying to invite you over for dinner. All you want to do is go out. You always want to be outside. Can we think about how silly that would be in a relationship? It's like eating out every single time you get together with somebody. Well, if you don't want to do that, you shouldn't date. No, but there's other things that we can do that are not so expensive. Number one. Number two, even if it's not expensive, sometimes I just don't have the money. So I got food at the house. I can spare a meal, right? Number one. Number two, why don't you invite me over to your house? Why don't you pay? At some point in time, it's expensive to live out here. And a lot of modern women today, kind of like what you're giving off right now, well, he needs to wait on my timeline. No, you're not the only one with a timeline here. He's got a timeline too. You're not the only one that's going to be in the relationship. He'll be in the relationship too. He's got some things that he likes. You've got some things that you like. Why do you think that your opinion is the only one that matters? Why do you think that your feelings are the only ones that matter? I mean, God forbid a man say, why don't you come over? I'll cook for you. No, I ain't coming over. Okay. All right. Why don't you come over and have a glass of wine with me? No, definitely not doing that. Okay. And furthermore, you should be willing to wait a whole entire year if I choose in order for me to come over. That's that same attitude that you're going to take into the relationship. Furthermore, if I ask you, whenever I ask you to move this furniture, you should do it happily whenever I ask you to, however I ask you to, because you love me. And you would do anything for me because you love me. Knowing that's not a realistic point of view. And when a man says, no, wait a minute, that's not fair. And he explains to you. He sits you down and explains to you. No hollering and screaming. His point of view and why that's not fair is called effective communication. What a modern woman with no discipline will do is go out there with her friends. He said, can you believe what he said? Girl, can you believe what he did? What? What are we doing here? And once you get hyped up and a little alcohol in you, by the way, over brunch, now you coming home trying to cuss him out. And she said this, you a piece of, and you ain't nothing but you ain't a real man. As a matter of fact, I'm done with this relationship. You sleep it off, and then you want to come back in when he's playing, hey, babe, I know you're playing a game, but, I really want to talk to you about something serious. What is it? Well, the things I said, I was just mad. I really didn't mean it. I was Sarah and Jessica, and, they just said some stuff, and I just feel a certain way. And I think it's a good time for us to talk about how I've been feeling lately. So the man's got to stop the game. He got to listen to you cry and moan, and basically it's going to end up him having to do what you want to do and him having to acquiesce. And then when you get mad like that again, you're going to go off like that again, and you're going to say things that you had no business saying, and it's going to be the same cycle over and over again. Y'all going to mishandle that man verbally and emotionally. His feelings and his thoughts and what he wants don't matter. Whenever Jessica and Sarah come in, especially when they come in and hype you up, his feelings don't matter. And the man he's expected to stay in a situation over and over again for years on end. He's expected to marry that. He's expected to give you the big. If I find your profile, I know you're talking about, I got to have something that's at least 20, 30K for a wedding, for an engagement ring. At least that. And then the wedding, that's got to be extravagant because he ought to be doing it because he loves me. That's a miserable existence, I'm telling you. I ain't telling you to not have no standards and just let a man run over you and just have his way with you. But my God, the type of entitlement that some of these ladies, and good on you for saying, hey, I don't want to be over any man's house, because that's what most men would want. I don't want to just be coming over on the first or second date. Give me a little time. But at some point in time, you should start to figure out, okay, is this going somewhere? Do I trust this man? Do I see a future with this man? Instead of just going with the flow and expecting this man to always come to you and you always receive. Of course, his energy is going to be off.